Selecting your board search partner is one of the most important aspects of recruiting the right board director talent for your boardroom. And, I would really encourage you to look at the criteria that you set for selecting that partner because there are a number of factors that are coming into play. First and foremost, the partner has to genuinely have relationships with next generation board director talent. That is essential. And, the reality is it's not about the size of the database, it's about the quality of the database that the firm might have and the proprietary research that the firm might have. So I would be putting a very, very high level of emphasis on proprietary research, relationships with next generation director talent. Sometimes we find that companies put an overemphasis on the methodology, the approach to finding the talent, whereas you really need to establish upfront what talent the organisation has prior relationships with. Now, anyone can identify the who's who of board director talent, but not anyone can identify who are the emerging, aspiring, up-and-coming board director talent. It's a completely different search. And you really do need to have deep research where that's concerned to be able to identify those aspiring, up-and-coming, emerging next generation board director talent. Yes, the methodology is important, and increasingly it's about speed, because if the firm doesn't have that deep research, deep relationships with board director talent, they're going to be slower because it's going to take them longer to compile that research. It's going to take them longer to bring the long list and the short list to the table. So speed is absolutely crucial. And the reality is, if you're in any form of business environment, listed environment or private environment, you need board director talent yesterday. You cannot afford to wait 3 to 6 months to identify talent for that organisation. So you do need to see that within the methodology there is an element of urgency required to bring that talent to the table and to shortlist and to long list that talent really in a timely fashion. And by that I mean within 30 to maybe 45 days maximum. It has to be quick so that you can select talent and you can put in place the right people onto your boardroom. And then finally, you want full transparency. Now, a lot of executive search firms keep their research very tightly guarded. They don't like to release the information. They don't like to release how they reached the conclusions that they reached. And I believe it should be fully transparent from beginning to end. Who have you spoken to? Who did you consider? Who did you rule in? Who did you rule out? Why did you rule that candidate out of the equation? You need to understand the real mechanics of the search rather than just accepting a short list and taking it at face value. I remember a few years ago, there was a very high profile government search and there wasn't a single woman placed on the short list. There wasn't any diversity within the short list. A number of the up and coming board directors hadn't been placed on the short list. And so, it would have been helpful to understand the methodology, to have the transparency throughout that, search process as to how that search consultant reached those conclusions to place the 5 same old suspects onto the list. And so I think if you're prepared to really do this work and be nimble, you've got to be transparent. You have to become a genuine partner, human resources partner with your company. You've got to share the detail. So they're the things that I would be looking for. I really do encourage firms to give the newer up and coming board search firms like Tiger Boards a go. We might not be, have all the sort of the credentials of the higher profile big 5 search firms, but we've got the methodology, we've got the research, we've got the ability to go really quickly to market and to be a genuine partner and be fully transparent through that process. So I think it's time to rethink how we search for talent. I think the old ways of doing things are becoming extremely tired, and it really is time for a fresh approach to board director talent and selecting the right board search partner to identify the most important people that you will appoint in your organisation.